So at the moment, it is Brian Bateman in the lead of this race in the 83 car. And it's not a bad looking car. Like, this is actually one of the cars that I really rate as far as paint schemes go. It's nice and it's simple. It's black with the silver trim down on the bottom of the car. It just looks nice and classic, Brian.
Yeah, it's definitely a simple looking paint scheme, reminiscent of Dale Earnhardt Sr. in black. You know, you see that black car coming up in your rearview, you better watch out.
That's exactly right. He wasn't the Intimidator for nothing. But at the moment, he is going to be in the lead of this race. Derek Runge has re-overtaken second. Chandler sitting in third, and he is only just in front of James winning in that 333 car. And Runge has a 3-second.
Definitely gonna.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new season of the Output Racing League here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel. And we are live from the Auto Club Speedway. We see all the cars getting around the track here. Should be very shortly that we see the guys hit the track for a pit party. As, I've got to put that away. We don't actually have a logo for this race just yet. But yeah, brand new season. Still using the next gen cars, or should I say the current gen cars. On top of the timetables at the moment is Brian Pizzakemi with a 40.494. Very quick time indeed. Corey Williamson going for a little trip through the back straight grass, going into turn 3. There's the 88, Jonathan Hernandez. We've got a lot of new liveries out there. A couple of people with number changes as well. We've got Matt Horton in the 89. TJ Crampton is in the 72. Corey Cook is in 61. Chris Champeau in the 92. So those are just some of the number changes. And we also have a new positional ticker, as you should be seeing across the top of the screen, but it's not there just yet. Oh wait, is it? No, it's not there just yet, so we've got to wait for that to show up. Either that or it's just been a little bit dramatic. Let me see if I can just do that real quick. There it is. It wouldn't be the start of a new season without a little bit of trouble. It looks like most people are in the pit, so we should be getting ready for a pit party here shortly. The cars start re-entering onto the track. '61 of Corey Cook. There's the 8 of Brian Harris. Running the Rainbow Warriors Jeff Gordon scheme. Got a 72 up there as well. It's TJ Crampton, the 81 Corey Williamson. Joe Slammer just in behind them as well. We also have a new driver in the form of David Stryker. He will be in the 42. Everyone's starting to get themselves sorted out for a position here in the pit party. Like most people favouring the outside line, no one really wants to be on the inside for the start. Brian Harris will be brave enough to be right up towards the front. And here we go. Everyone immediately fan out across what is the soon-to-be defunct Auto Club Speedway. This is the Rest in Peace Auto Club Speedway 150. Look at that, 3 wide going through the corner. Of course, easy to do around here because the track is so wide. Oh, but around they go. The cars are very loose around here. That is Chris Champeau and Thomas Harmon. You also see Jonathan Hernandez had some trouble coming out of turn 4. Oh, and the Rainbow Warrior has stacked them up on the outside. Oh, Brian Pizzicami. Oh, that's not Pizzicami, that's Crampton. Crampton also went around. Took Joe Slammer for the ride. And they're both stuck in the fence. And out of that pit party, not many survived. So it looks like we're going to have a whole bunch of cars heading back to the pits to try it all again. And Frank Isaacson has set his car up nicely there on the start of the pit lane. Oh, and I've just got word through that David Stryker is actually a streamer as well. So twitch.tv/Striker Racing. Hell yeah. There's Kyle Kraus in the 7. So your current top 10, as far as times are concerned, is Pizzicemi, Horton, Kraus, Hernandez, Harmon, Massia, Crampton, Slama, Harris, and Niederhelm. That's Marquez, Champeau, Corey Cook, Brandon Bennett in 14th. Little bit of pushing there from Marquez onto the back of Harmon. All fun and games. Here we go, attempt number 2 of the pit party. And that would have been a penalty for Thomas Harmon. Someone on the front row just experimented with an alternate dimension and disappeared. Oh, I just saw the league owner and operator, the Fora Jones Sanchez, out on track. They almost went 4 wide for a second. Oh, and around goes a 9 of Joe Slama, and he's been collected by several drivers. And we had the big one at Auto Club. It would actually almost be easier to say who was not involved. There's Sam Niederhelm just sitting there on the apron. Frank Isaacson. And here's everyone who wasn't involved in all that. We have 20 drivers signed up for the race, including myself as the 21st person in the server. The current strength of field is a 2.6k, which is right up there with our average. We look like we're going to get a 3rd attempt here at the pit party. But yeah, just for informational sake, David Stryker, an A-Class 2.0 with a 2.5k I rating. That's Chris Champeau and Thomas Harmon start making their way into the pits for attempt number 3 of this pit party. As if we have a third attempt. Massey and Striker getting out onto the track pretty quick. Alright, here we go. Attempt number 3 of the pit party. The immediate 3 wide, almost 4. Now it's 4. And back to 3. And back to 4. How's this going to go on corner exit? They're going to get back down to 2. And then turn it into 3. Oh no. Around goes Brian Harris in the Rainbow Warrior car. I think they were actually 5 wide for a second there. Before Harris went around. Lots of 3 wide action. Lots of people still getting loose. See, this is where pit parties are actually really useful for these guys getting to know the track. Because it's all about seeing how loose you get in the pack. As around goes TJ Crampton. Takes out Williamson and Massey with him. And I think Jaron Sanchez caught a little piece of that as well. You see, he's hard on the brakes there. But his tyres are stuffed. And he can't stop it. Oh. And that was a big punch in the face. Oh, Kraus just trying to hunt his way around the outside of Jonas Marquez. Just in front of him, you can see Pizzacami, Corey Williamson, bump drafting along the front straight. Kyle Kraus running all the way at the fence. That actually gained him the advantage over Thomas Harmon. It also gives him a big boost going down the back straight here as he caught the draft of the cars ahead. That's the one advantage of running that outside line. You can carry so much more speed because you don't have to slow down so much. I'm not sure how many people we'll see running that particular line, but for the moment, it's definitely working for Kyle Kraus. As we are less than 10 minutes away from the end of practice here. Of course, when practice ends, the cars go into qualifying, and then we set the grid for the race. He's running considerably lower in 3 and 4 than what he was in 1 and 2. Oh, and the 9 has gone around. It's Joe Slama. It's coming out of turn 4. Yeah, from what I've heard, the cars get a lot trickier after about 10 laps, especially through turns 3 and 4. And considering they're already pretty tricky in 3 and 4, should be some interesting racing ahead. Oh, there's a couple of cars gotten together there. James Watson, Brandon Bennett, the 1 and the 39. There's TJ Cranton in the 72. He's right behind the 81 of Corey Williamson. Just ahead of them is Jonathan Hernandez. And around they go. Oh, and they've collected Frank as well. Oh, they've collected someone else. I think that was the 5. It was the 5, Mark Pentecoff. Oh, that's unfortunate. And Brian Harris doing Brian Harris things and running into the already stricken Mark Pentecoff. Now I have about 10 laps left here in practice, which equates to about 6 minutes of actual on-track time. Of course, it's like 40-second lap times around here. Top time is a 40.494, and the slowest time currently by Jaron Sanchez, the owner and operator, was a 41.8. I do believe it said. Of course, Sanchez has not been able to get as much practice in the moving house over the off season. In fact, towards the end of last season, he was moving house. And where he has his sim rig set up is out in the shed. As that got very tight in turn number 1. A little bit of touchy-feely there. Looking at this little exchange, I think James Watson on much fresher tyres than those cars around him. And he actually has the slowest time now, down in 20th position with a 41.191. Jaron Sanchez got a 41.0 and moved himself up into 19th. But now is also about the time where you'll start seeing cars trying to get out there for a single car run to get ready for qualifying, as qualifying is right around the corner and they only get 2 laps to get the qualifying right. They make a mistake in qualifying, then it's back of the bus. We've got 5 to go. Or about 3 minutes worth. You see Corey Cook up in the fence. He was running a green car last season. This season he's running a red one. It could also be possible that my paints aren't updated. So we'll get trading paints onto that. It was very close there between Williamson and Watson as Joe Slammer. Again finding trouble in turn 4. His car does not like turn 4 right now. Oh, and there's a bump. Oh, and that was a big hit for Williamson. He's going to have to be put on concussion protocol for that one. Now we have less than a minute left in practice. So very shortly we will be going to a commercial break. But don't stress, because when we come back, qualifying will be complete and we will have cars on the track for the first time here for the broadcast, the second time for the season, because this is round number 2, first round obviously at Daytona. So more action coming up shortly from the Rest in Peace Auto Club Speedway 150 right here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel. So make sure you guys stay tuned. We are back. Qualifying has been complete, and sitting on the pole will be the 7 car of Kyle Kraus. Starting outside front row with him will be the 72 of TJ Crampton. P3 will be the 38 of Thomas Harmon. P4 will be the 88 of Jonathan Hernandez. P5 will be the 9 car of Joe Slama, with P10 being the 92 of P6, sorry, being the 92 of Chris Champeau. I don't know why I said 10 there. P7 will be the 24 of Frank Isaacson. P8 the 61 of Corey Cook. P9 the 39 of James Watson, with P10 the 13 of Travis Massia. P11 is going to be Sam Niederhelm in the 66. Then we're going to have Jonas Marquez, Brian Harris, Matt Horton, Jaron Sanchez, Brandon Bennett, Mark Pentacuff, Brian Pizzakemi, Corey Williamson, and wrapping up our 20 car field will be David Stryker, but it looks like he has not taken to the grid yet. So I guess we will just wait and see on whether he comes in or not. So as I said, 20 cars to take on the racing action here tonight. 21 people in the server altogether, so including myself, means a strength of field of 2.6k, as all 20 cars are on the grid. And we should start seeing the pace car rolling here shortly. Quite a warm one out there for this race. It's a 23-degree ambient temp, which isn't too bad, but 32 degrees on the track temp. Of course, this is in Celsius, and I cannot give you the Fahrenheit readout because I don't know it. And I'm just hearing through that Stryker might be having a couple of electrical gremlins in his car. So it looks like he's going to be starting off the back of the grid a little bit just to be sure that everything is okay. But here we go. Race number 2 of the season, the Rest in Peace Auto Club Speedway 150 from the Auto Club Speedway. This will be the last running in real life on this configuration of the track. And then as soon as this race is over, they're going to turn it into a short track. But here we go, the pace car is in. And we're off and racing for the first broadcast of the season. And already 3 wide for the lead. 4 wide for the lead. As everyone is trying to get whatever advantage they can. And the advantage was with the outside lanes as TJ Crampton takes the lead. He is followed by Jonathan Hernandez. Kyle Kraus sitting there in third with Thomas Harmon on the inside of him sitting in fourth. And just behind them is Chris Champeau in a 92. He's looking to make up some positions here early. And already we've got some movers and shakers, a little bit of wall contact already and a little bit of looseness in some of the cars. But for the most part, it looks like everyone getting through unscathed. We still have a little bit of 3 wide in the background there. See the Rainbow Warrior number 8 of Brian Harris all the way on the inside. You see the 89 there of Matt Horton trying to get things going out there. And I think Mark Pentacuff is having some issues. He has dropped off my leaderboard. And that is definitely not good. But back up to the front of the pack we go. And we have a battle for the lead between TJ Crampton and Jonathan Hernandez. Hernandez looking to the inside of Crampton as we go into turn number 1. Going to try and pull the big slide job. Either that or he just wanted to turn into the corner super early, and it's worked out for him as he takes the lead away from TJ Crampton. He already has a little bit of a gap there, but Crampton, having a slightly more outside line, will have the better run going through the back straight here. Looks like just for the moment he is deciding to stay in behind him. So it looks like the front of the race is going to just settle down here a little bit. Let's go and check in back here. Battle for third. There's not really much going on. It's back here with Joe Slama and the 61 of Corey Cook. That things are really starting to heat up. This is where the two wide action starts. You see just behind him, 3 wide, just about. The side by side still, Corey Cook and Joe Slama. And now they single file out. And it looks like Jonathan Hernandez got the fastest lap of the race so far, 41.026. And around goes Frank Isaacson. That has brought out the first caution of the race. And we just saw that on the side of the screen. Let's back this up. Oh no, Frank. Oh, that's going to hurt. That might be his race done right there. Let's go back and have a quick squiz at what happened here. This is coming out of turn 4. He's on the outside line. But you see James Watson there in the 39 wants to get a little bit higher than he is. He's already got the 66 of Sam Niederhelm on his inside. Oh, and it's just a little tap from Niederhelm on the left rear of Frank. And around goes Frank Isaacson. Oh, that is unfortunate. And right up until here, he had it really good. He had the car saved. She was good to continue. Then he gets back on track. He just had slight right hand on it coming off the grass. And it sent him into the fence. So that's brought out our first caution of the race. Means we're going to go to our first advert break of the race. Make sure you guys stay tuned. More action coming up shortly. And we are back here at the Auto Club Speedway for the Rest in Peace Auto Club Speedway 150. Jonathan Hernandez will be leading the way as the lights go out on the pace car. TJ Crampton will restart in P2. Then it's Chris Champeau, Kyle Kraus, Corey Cook, Joe Slama, Matt Horton, James Watson, Sam Niederhelm, and Jaron Sanchez as your top 10. And David Stryker in the 42. He's up 9 positions from where he started. As I clicked on the right one. And he did choose to not pit. The first car who has pitted, the 38 of Thomas Harmon on his outside. And it seems that we've lost Brennan Bennett. Mark Pentecoff's 3 laps down. Brennan Bennett did come into the pits on with everyone else, but yeah, something's happened to him, and he's disappeared from my standings. So here we go. We've got 11 cars on older tires, not that much older, but just slightly older, and everyone else has brand newies. So here we go for the restart. Gonna have 7 laps in the books. The pace car is in. The restart is on the leader in the restart zone, and you cannot deviate from your lane until you cross the start finish line. Look at that jump. The entire inside row there with an excellent jump. TJ Crampton was just snoozing a little bit, and Chris Champeau moves from third up into second, and look at the blocking effort there from Chris Champeau. 3 wide, they went behind him briefly. In fact, they're still 3 wide back here with Joe Slama, Kyle Kraus, and Matt Horton. They come out of turn 4. See where Thomas Harmon is at. He's currently in P9, as I totally clicked on the wrong number. P9 battling for 8th with Sam Niederhelm and Matt Horton. And he is up on the inside. Matt Horton officially. Thomas Harmon is scored as 8th right now, but we'll wait and see. And he jumps in behind Horton, so he's going to hold on to 8th for now. You see the 42 back there, David Stryker. He's looking at getting into this battle. As I said, there's not much difference between the new and old tyres right now, just a few laps. As we also have a battle for the lead, I do believe. We do. Between Jonathan Hernandez and Chris Champeau, side by side into turn number 1 they go. Hernandez with the outside line. Champeau with the inside line. And Champeau is going to take it coming off turn 2. But Jonathan Hernandez still on the outside, trying to battle back. Let's see what happens as we go into 3 and 4. Treacherous turns 3 and 4. And Hernandez with the outside line holding on to the momentum. See the side draft there from Chris Champeau. Just about tapping the left rear of Jonathan Hernandez. 3 wide behind they are once more. And Thomas Harmon's decision to pit hasn't really worked out too well for him. He's still just sitting there in 9th as David Stryker got back around him. Side by side, our 2 leaders go once more coming out of turn 2. And this time, Chris Champeau ducks in behind Jonathan Hernandez at the end of the straightaway. Now here comes TJ Crampton trying to take over the 2nd position once more. He's going to do so. Look at that run that he got out of turn 4. It was like he was shot out of a cannon. He is on the inside of our 2 leaders who are drafting on the outside line. They're trying to run as high as they can, get all the momentums as TJ Crampton trying to make the track as small as possible, running the very inside line. They're still 2 wide behind as well. You can see the 5 of Mark Pentacuff on the inside of the track. He doesn't want to get involved. He's staying down on the infield. That's a little bit more even this time coming off turn 4, but Chris Champeau is going to use the draft of Jonathan Hernandez, and now he's going to look at trying to make the move. Will he get it coming into turn 1 this time? He's running a higher line than what TJ was previously. Looks like TJ was anticipating him going to the bottom and was going to try and sneak up the middle. But that's not how that one worked. Still side by side, Jonathan Hernandez, Chris Champeau, as we're battling for the lead on lap 13. And it looks like Hernandez had a little bit of a wiggle that time in turn 4. That's allowed Chris Champeau to overtake him for the lead. Now here comes Hernandez fighting back down on the inside line. He's got a big run on the inside line here. See if he can hold it coming off of turn 2, and he can for the moment. But will the momentum of Chris Champeau carry him back past? We'll wait and see. Pulls back up side by side. Going into turn 3. And big momentum for Hernandez on the outside. A little bit of a wiggle as well for Chris Champeau. That's going to leave him vulnerable now to TJ Crampton, who's going to pass him on the outside for second. But the battle is not over yet. There's Crampton right on Hernandez's tail. And running this close, he could actually take the aero off the rear spoiler there of Hernandez and make him get a little bit sideways. A couple of cars dipping out of the draft, trying to make moves happen. Hernandez to the very inside line. Champeau was to the middle, now he's on the inside, and TJ Crampton on the very outside. And it's surprising to me that they're running the outside line here on the main straight. And look at the momentum of TJ Crampton as he's now going to try and make the move into turn number 1. Hernandez trying to use all the momentums he can on the outside to hold side by side with Crampton. To a little bit of a wiggle there from Crampton in turn 2. The tyres are starting to get hot. They're starting to go off just ever so slightly. But Hernandez still holding on to the top spot for now, as he's going about mid-track high once more. Crampton on the very inside. And Crampton gets a really good run off turn 4 on that low side. But there's just not enough momentum in it to carry him through to the lead. Although this time he is the closest he's been to holding on to it coming to the start-finish line. And this time, Hernandez with the outside line in 1 and 2 gets the advantage. We've got one car getting loose back there. I think... No, it wasn't Sanchez. Might have been Travis Masia. No, it wasn't Masia either. Was it Jonas? It was Jonas that got loose coming out of turn 2 that time. Let's go back up towards the front of the pack, as it's now become a bit of a battleground. We've got a lot of people in this battle, as Slama, Corey Cook, David Stryker have all caught up to our leaders, and this has just become one big battle pack now. Slama trying to make the move for 4th. He's on the inside. You can see just about 3 wide going through turns 3 and 4. Salama trying to sneak his way up into 3rd as well. Big bump draft from Corey Cook on Chris Champeau. And that has put Slama right back behind them. And this is where you really don't want to have to step out of the draft on the straightaway. You want to get the move made, you have to get it made in the corners and slide up. Here comes Corey Cook once more to the inside, this time of Mr. Chris Champeau. Can he make the move for 3rd? He's got it made so far, as TJ Crampton's trying to make the move for the lead. And I'm surprised Corey Cook... Oh, there's a touch. Corey Cook got very loose after that touch. He's managed to hold on to it. I'm surprised he didn't want to follow in the tyre tracks of TJ Crampton there. I thought having the drafting help would have helped him more than him just trying to side draft and stick it alone. But we have a change for the lead and a change for 3rd. But Jonathan Hernandez, not wanting to let that stand, has moved to the inside once more to try and take the lead back away from TJ Crampton. Crampton on the very outside line here in 3 and 4. But it's not going to do anything as Hernandez takes the lead, but he got very loose. Oh, and Crampton's hit the fence. All of Crampton's momentum is gone as he's hit the fence. They're going to go too wide now into turn number 1. It's Hernandez, Cook, and Champo now as your top 3. But Champo got very loose that time into turn 1. Just about ruined all of his momentum. They go 3 wide now. Just behind these guys. And Corey Cook trying to go for the lead into turn 3. And it looks like, for the most part, he's got the move made. In fact, TJ Crampton trying to take second away from Jonathan Hernandez. Now we've got 3 wide for the lead. Who's going to have it at the line? I think that was Crampton who had it at the line. Going for the over-under. And Crampton has cleared both Cook and Hernandez this time. So he's got the lead. He's also got a little bit of a gap, but that's probably not what you want as you start heading towards turn number 3. Let's see what he does with it. He runs low. Hernandez runs high. But Crampton is going to hold on to the lead this time. And now trying to break the draft on the front straight as they come to the start-finish line. Hernandez following in his footsteps. And we've got 3 wide for third. Between Slama, Cook, and Striker. Striker is doing very well right now. Up into the 4th position. He is up 16 positions from where he started. He didn't register a time because of him having them electrical gremlins in his car. But he's definitely showing off what he's got right now. Ooh, so I think Striker got loose, and at the same time, Corey Cook hit the fence a little bit. And Joe Slama has made his way into second. We didn't see that happen because we were too busy watching this battle just behind them. And here comes Chris Champo. He's trying to make positions back up again. Same 2 for Kyle Kraus, who's down 6 positions from where he started. All the way down in the 7th position. In fact, make that 8th now. Matt Horton, who was +7 for the race, currently in the 7th position. And Thomas Harmon languishing down in 9th. He's not having a good run. Oh, Striker has hit the fence. Oh, no. Horton's gone. Oh, that was nearly a flip there for, I think, Champo. And all hell has broken loose. The 89's involved. Matt Horton. So let's go see if we can back this up a little bit and unpack exactly what happened here. So we go with Striker. Just behind Striker is the 92. So does Striker just drift up into the fence? Oh, maybe not into the fence itself, but it was definitely close enough that it spooked him, made him get loose. Gone sideways, he's come back up the track, into the 7 of Kraus, both of them into the 89 of Horton. And Horton spun back across the track, and I think he's just caught Thomas Harmon here. And he has. Harmon's gone around. Harmon just about flipped. Striker also gets hit by the 66 Anita helm. And that is the way that one goes. So with that, we're going to go to another commercial break here. When we come back, more action from the Rest in Peace Auto Club 150 will be coming up very shortly. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Welcome back to the Rest in Peace Auto Club 150 here from the Auto Club Speedway. TJ Crampton, first one in, first one out, comes out with the lead. Joe Slama second, Corey Cook in third. Jonathan Hernandez slid deep into his box, had to back up. He is in P6. And then we've got Sam Niederhelm, who's up into 7th, Trappist Masia 8th, Ryan Harris 9th, and Jonas Marquez sitting there in 10th at the moment. It's behind him, Thomas Harmon, who was involved in that accident. And Frank Isaacson, James Watson, Matt Horton, Jonas Sanchez, Corey Williamson, and David Stryker, and Kyle Kraus all still in the pit lane. So we're waiting for them to filter out, as I think they're in there getting some extra repairs done. Looks like Corey Williamson, Kyle Kraus, with some bigger repairs than they thought they'd have, as they're still sitting on the pit lane and they've both just gone a lap down. But TJ Crampton going to be leading the way here on this restart, as the lights are out on the pace car. We're going to be 1 to green. Unfortunately, I don't have the graphic prepared, but I reckon on this restart, what we're going to do is a little bit of an old school crank it up.
Go. Green flag.
Alrighty, we're back. Looking at TJ Crampton all the way down in 14th now. He has not had a good run since that restart. Jonathan Hernandez has worked his way back into the lead, although he's still being hounded by Corey Cook and Brian Pizzakemi, who's up 15 from where he started. And look at that, side by side to turn 1 we go between Cook and Hernandez. Cook with a momentous outside, and you got Hernandez on the inside, and he's got help from the 78 of Brian Pizzicami. Now Pizzicami's going to make it 3 wide just about on the back straight. He backs out of it slightly. And Hernandez slots back into second. Draft just wasn't there for Pizzicami to push Hernandez past Corey Cook. As Corey Cook will hold the advantage coming out of turn 4. Definitely some close quarters racing going on here. We're getting ever closer to the halfway mark. Now here comes Pizzicami up on the inside. He's sitting in third, but he wants to make it something better. He backed out of it. In turn 3, they all take the inside line in turn 3, so no one's really going to take the advantage here, although Corey Cook must have gotten on the gas a little bit earlier than the others as he slid right up the track. Now here comes Jonathan Hernandez trying to take the lead back. At the line, Hernandez was leading. And he's going to take the lead going into turn 1. Clears Corey Cook. Pizzicami, now they're going to go 3 wide in turns 1 and 2, trying to race their way. And Pizzicami now is going to take the lead. And it looks like he's holding on to it for now too. See Corey Cook there running the middle line. On the outside line, Chris Champeau. But nothing really doing there for him. Brian Pizzicami is going to lead his first lap in this race. There is bonus points for laps led. At least I think there is. But Pizzicami now leading the way. The battle is on for third between Cook and Champeau. Champeau takes third away for the moment. He's got a lot of momentum coming down the back straight. He might dive it down to the inside of Hernandez this time. And he does. And that's going to be the move made for second as a little slide job. But will the 88 of Hernandez fight back? He's trying to on the inside here. Just not quite the momentum needed to do it. As Brian Pizzicami is pulled away from these guys here a little bit. Now to the inside, the 88, Jonathan Hernandez trying to take second place back from Chris Champeau. There's not really much going there. David Stryker, even though he was the cause of that last crash, back up into P8. So he is still plus 12 for the race. Side by side, once again goes Hernandez and Champeau. Hernandez has to go back in behind Champeau. I think he waited for that a little bit too late. He's not going to have the run going through turns 1 and 2 here. He's going to try it, but it's just not going to work out for him. You see in the background there, I think that's the 66 Sam Niederhelm. Going side by side there with Stryker and Horton. Stryker pulled away, but here comes Horton now on the inside. That's going to be Matt Horton up into 8th. 39 James Watson trying to get into this battle as well. We'll see what James can do on the inside. James Watson slide jobbing. He's got him cleared. And here comes Thomas Harmon now. They're going to go 3 wide on the back straight. Thomas Harmon backed out of it. Sam Niederhelm's not one who usually goes 3 wide, so Thomas probably just erring on the side of caution there a little bit. Now to 39, James Watson has Sam cleared, and this is the chance that Thomas Harmon needed to get back into the top 10. Sam Niederhelm still running that outside line, trying to get the momentums up. But it's not going to work. Look at the run that Thomas Harmon got on the inside line there. You don't see anyone else getting that good of a run coming out of turn 2. I think Striker and Horton are having a little battle here as well. They are. Striker on the outside, Horton on the inside. Just behind them, you can see the battle waging on between Watson and Harmon. And Horton will take over the 7th position from Striker. Big bump draft from Striker down the back straight on Horton. They're trying to pull away from Thomas Harmon here slightly. Didn't quite work out for them. Still Brian Pizzakemi leading the way, and he has a 1.5 second lead over Chris Champeau right now. There's Chris Champeau back in second. Third is Corey Cook in the 61. A little bit of a gap between Champeau and Cook as well. It's about 0.3 of a second. And here comes Hernandez up on the inside. And what has Hernandez got for Cook? Not much this time. Here Hernandez goes once more, trying to make this inside line work. They've got about 14 laps on their tyres at the moment, as we're still nearly at the halfway marker. We're not quite there yet. Halfway through the next lap will officially be halfway. And we have a caution. And I think, yes, it's the 8 of Brian Harris. Back this up and see what happened to Harris coming out of turn 4. See the 64, Jonas Marquez behind him, already loose. And looks like Harris just gets loose all by himself. He gets sideways. There's the overcorrect. And does he manage to miss everyone? He does. But he does still hit the fence quite heavily. And this is where he goes around, and this is what's brought out the caution. There, here comes Frank. And very smartly, Brian Harris actually gets off the brakes there so he can roll off the track. That is our 3rd caution of this race. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to another commercial break. When we come back, more action from the Rest in Peace Auto Club Speedway 150 coming up shortly. Welcome back to the Rest in Peace Auto Club Speedway 150 here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel. And Brian Pizzakemi came out with the lead. Entered as a leader, came out with the leader. Big race off pit road though. Chris Champeau came out 2nd, Jonathan Hernandez 3rd, Corey Cook in 4th. We're going to have Joe Slammer in 5th, TJ Crampton P6, Thomas Harmon 7th, Sam Niederhelm 8th, Jonas Marquez 9th, and Travis Massia in 10th. We did also have one Lucky Dog wave round. I do believe that was the 7 of Kyle Kraus. As the field starts to form up here for the restart. We are officially past halfway. The lights are out. We're going to be going green this time by. We've had 3 cautions in this race as Travis Massia comes back into the pits. So 3 cautions. We have 16 cars left on the lead lap. Kyle Kraus, the first car lap down with 12 laps down, and he's in 17th. And we've lost Brandon Bennett, Mark Pentecoff, and Corey Williamson from the race. All right, here we go, getting ready for the restart. Fizikemi has elected to take the inside line. And remember, the restart is on the leader in the restart zone. All right, here we go. The pace car is in. And let's actually look from the back of the car if we can get it fast enough. There we go.
Green flag.
We're off and racing once more. Brian Fizikemi jumping out to a big lead already. You see Chris Champeau and Jonathan Hernandez there behind him. Just listen to the throttle control as he comes through turn 2. Hernandez slid up the track a little bit there coming through turn 2, which we saw just then. That's going to give Chris Champeau the momentum coming into turn 3. And look at them. The battle for second raging on. Chris Champeau is going to hold the advantage at the moment. You can see Jonathan Hernandez trying to get down the inside of him. Corey Cook trying to get into this battle as well. He wants second place. He's trying to go on a higher line than Chris Champeau, and there wasn't much room there for it. There's a 72. TJ Crampton is back in this battle as well. Thomas Harmon, after being involved in the earlier incident, is back in this race as well. He's up in the 7th. He is down 4 from where he started though, which is not good for him. But Brian Fizikemi leading the way. He's already got 0.7 of a second. The battle for second rages on between Crampton and Champeau. Crampton holding onto it at the moment. You can see in the background there, I think that was the 8 of Brian Harris who was ducking down to the apron. A little bit loose then was Chris Champeau coming out of 4. The new tyres getting him there a little bit. But this side-by-side battling, all this is really doing is allowing Brian Fizikemi to pull away from these guys. Because TJ Crampton does actually have the fastest lap of the race too, of 40.848. Not sure if he did that on this run or not, but definitely the fastest lap of the race so far. Oh, as in the background now, I think Jonathan Hernandez got the wall coming out of turn 4. If he didn't get it, he was definitely very close to it. And TJ Crandon still cannot crack Chris Champeau and take over that second position. Chris Champeau running that high line very well. We now have, 35 laps to go in this race. But the laps starting to tick down now. This is when these guys are going to have to start making moves and quit faking them. It's all going to boil down to the next 34 and a half laps. You can see in the background there, speaking about not faking moves, Matt Horton in the 89 car. He was in the outside lane, dived all the way down to the bottom to try and get around both Thomas Harmon and Joe Slama. Could only get Harmon though, as Slama pulled to the outside of Corey Cook, who's starting to fade a little bit here. And around the outside of him, they all go. How can Joe Slama defend from Matt Horton? At the moment, he's doing a good job of it. But the draft and the momentum will definitely have to come into play here shortly. Everyone here is running the low line going through turns 3 and 4. It looks like the front of the field started to string out a little bit here. We jump on with our leader. And yeah, he's got a 8.5 second lead. Or sorry, an 8.5 tenth lead over Chris Champeau. Chris Champeau has about 0.6 of a second over TJ Cranton. There's another 0.6 of a second from Crampton back to Hernandez. But Horton, he's trying to buck the trend here as he's battled it out with Joe Slama and taken over that 5th position. In the background there, the two, Corey Cook, trying to battle with Thomas Harmon. Harmon on the outside, Cook on the inside. Cook does have him cleared, but it looks like Harmon's starting to fight back with that momentum. He's not clear. Doesn't move up. Very smart. Now Corey Cook trying to get the momentum on the outside line. He's trying to set up the move. But he lost so much time there doing that in turns 3 and 4. I think turns 1 and 2 are the better ones for running high. You see him running right next to the wall there on the entry to 1. Comes down a little bit on 2. But look at the momentum difference. He has all the momentum there. He's not going to be able to make a move this time though. But Thomas Harmon is going to try and make the move on Slama. Didn't quite work out for him, but here comes Corey Cook now, using the momentum and the draft on the outside line. And he's going to get around the outside of Thomas Harmon this time. Thomas jumping in behind him as Slama and Horton looks like that's going to start heating up once more. And this time Corey Cook running the midline. Just enough momentum for him to beat out Thomas Harmon, but not enough for him to get embroiled in this battle in front. As Slama now to the inside of Matt Horton. And he is going to take over that 5th position once again. As the battle will continue to rage on here. Got 13 laps on this run. These guys' tyres will start to feel a little bit second-hand right about now. Look at this little pack. Here comes Corey Cook now trying to make the move on Matt Horton. Just in front of them, Crampton and Hernandez are starting to battle. They're battling over third. Corey Cook definitely not getting it that time. In fact, the momentum that Slama had coming out of turn 2, he's actually gapped these guys a little bit. And he has reeled in Hernandez ahead of him. He could very well drag this pack behind him up to our 3rd and 4th place competitors. Although he has been running this outside line so well, he is definitely gapping Corey Cook behind him. Almost out to half a second. He's using all the momentums on that outside line. And I think we're actually side by side here for second. Actually, no, are we? Just about, yeah. Oh, and our leader has been reeled in as well. So that lead that Brian Pisakemi had has all but dissipated. As here comes Chris Champeau to the inside line now. The Pisakemi trying to run him low. A little bit loose there for Champeau going through turn 2. But he's not going to be able to do much with that run that he had. But here now comes CJ Crampton. He's going to look to the inside of Chris Champeau and try and get to the inside of Pisakemi as well. It's not going to work out for him. But he should be able to take the second place here as Champeau is forced to run high in 3 and 4. And now all the momentum still with Brian Pisakemi. As we are now on lap 61. We've got 60 laps complete, which means just 15 to go. No, 25 to go. And this is just a big pack of cars right now. I'm actually surprised that Pisakemi allowed the rest of them to reel him in like this. As you see TJ Crampton trying to be tactical, running the outside line, trying to get the momentum on Pisakemi, and it's worked. And he's got his nose ahead. He's going to officially lead this lap. In fact, he's going to take the lead completely. Absolutely cleared Pisakemi that time. Going to continue to run the outside line as Pisakemi trying to fight back on the inside. Not going to work this time. And here comes Slama and Champeau as well. Champeau, what a move. There's absolutely no room to make that, and he made it stick. And he's going to take over second place from Pisakemi now. It's like our one-time leader, Pisakemi, starting to fade as his tyres are starting to go off. The 3 wide we are for second. And now it's 3 wide for third as Champeau has just cleared all 3 of these guys. But here comes Jonathan Hernandez and Joe Slama. What can they do to get around Brian Pisakemi here? Slama with the early advantage into the corner. And, oh yeah, you can just see how loose Pisakemi is there. He's not having a fun time with this car right now. But Hernandez will take over third. In fact, Corey Cook coming up for fourth as well on the outside of Joe Slama. 3 wide we go once more into turn 3. In fact, 4 wide. And it looks like loose for the 78 of Pisakemi, and he's going to lose all those positions, and he's going to drop back into the 8th position. If he's not careful, he'll lose out on the draft as well. Back up with our little battle here. Oh, just into the line, just into the wall there was Corey Cook running that super high line. Here comes Hernandez. He's got the momentum on Chris Champeau. Looks like he's choosing to bump draft Champeau down the back straight here. Trying to catch up to TJ Crampton. And Hernandez could have absolutely tried going for the move into turn 3. Chose better of it. Oh, and loose was Chris Champeau coming out of turn 4. And that has absolutely scattered this pack. We've gone back 3 wide. And down into turn number 1 we go. Who is going to take the advantage here? Oh, loose was Chris Champeau once more. Hernandez got loose as well. Oh, there was contact. Oh, and Hernandez and Harmon have gone around. Harmon got back going again. Let's go back and have a look at this again. So we're looking at Hernandez here as he's coming through turn 2. See, just ahead of him, Chris Champeau gets loose. He just taps Corey Cook with the rear of the car. And that was enough to check up Joe Slama, which forced Hernandez to try and take a lower line here. And a little bit of side-to-side contact between Hernandez and Harmon, which put Hernandez into Slama, which then put him back down into Harmon. And Slama's actually lucky he didn't go around there too. But both of these cars, heavy front-end impacts into that outside wall on turn 2. Everyone managing to scatter to miss them. But this has brought out the 4th caution of this race. With that, we're going to go for what will hopefully be our last advert break for this race. So make sure you guys stay tuned. More action from the Rest in Peace Auto Club Speedway 150 coming up here shortly. Chosen not to pit, and he is currently our leader. Just behind him, Chris Champeau, Corey Cook, and TJ Crampton have come out of the pits. Joe Slama as well, 5th. I can see Thomas Harmon still in the pits, and I'm assuming the 88 Jonathan Hernandez will be in there with him. But Frank Isaacson currently leading the way. See if he'll duck into the pits this time. And no. So Frank, with 23 laps on these tyres, is going to be restarting from the pole. It's going to be Champeau, Cook, Crampton, Slama, Pizzakemi, Watson, Marquez, Masia, and Niederhelm behind him in that order. As the lights are out on the pace car, we're going to be going green this time by. Let's just see how the rest of the field's doing. We've got Horton, Sanchez, Harris, Hernandez, Harmon, Stryker as the remainder of your lead lap cars from 11th to 16th. Kyle Kraus still 12 laps down in 17th.
The safety car lights are still
and
on.
we have a delayed green. I think that was for Hernandez. Hernandez make a mistake, or did he just... Oh, he did. He spun. Hernandez coming out of the pits. He has spun and hit the fence again. The thing's definitely not going well here for Hernandez. As we'll go one more time around. The lights will go out on the pace car once more. You see Frank Isaacson, very excited to be in this position. Right up on the tail of the pace car. And what that actually has done is that's allowed Hernandez, Harmon and Stryker to get one extra lap of repairs done. So here we go. We go into turn 3 once more. We have 69 laps complete at the drop of the green flag. Means just 16 laps to go. All right, here we go. The pace car is in. And we're off and racing.
Green flag.
Frank getting a decent jump to begin with here. As now we go down into turns 1 and 2. And Frank immediately trying to take the outside line. And here comes everyone on fresh tyres. Corey Cook is the first one to take advantage. And look at the battling going on here for the lead. Frank Isaacson's just going to get swallowed up by just about everyone, as most people are on their last set of fresh tyres. There's Corey Cook and Brian Pizzakemi at the moment. And Corey Cook is officially going to lead this lap. TJ Crampton sitting there in second now. And he was right up the back of Corey Cook that time. Going to go 3 wide into 1 and 2. And here comes Pizzakemi on the inside. Oh, just snuck into that line, did TJ Crampton. See 3 wide in the back as well. We've got a couple of different battles going on right now, but we're definitely going to be keeping an eye on this battle for the lead, as Brian Pizzakemi desperately wants to get back into it, but he got loose coming out of turn 4. Oh, and there's another spin in the background. It's the 39 of James Watson. And I didn't see who else that was. It might have been the 38 of Thomas Harmon again. And it was. Thomas Harmon definitely not having a good race here tonight. Caught up in so many of other people's incidents. And this has dropped him all the way down to 15th. But back up to the front of the pack we go. TJ Crampton leading the way now. Corey Cook on the inside line. Chris Champeau sitting there in third. Looks like Corey Cook got a little bit loose coming out of 4 that time. See TJ trying to break the draft to Chris Champeau. Going down and giving it to Corey Cook, who did not have a great run out of turn 4. And it's a little plan that worked for him so far. You see they were just about 4 wide behind them, going through turns 1 and 2. Here comes the 89 of Matt Horton. Brian Pizzakemi still in this battle as well. To the inside now goes Horton. Horton up into third. Oh, Corey Cook caught the fence. That's going to take away all of his momentum, as he's actually blocking Joe Slama there from trying to make the move on him around the outside. Saw Matt Horton pull up in front of Corey Cook there to open up the corner as much as he could to get the best run. Horton is on the move. He's in P3. All the way way down to the inside of the track he goes. And look at the run he got coming out of turn 4. See TJ Crampton, he doesn't want to give the draft to Horton, so he keeps it up high with Chris Champeau this time. And he's going to take Chris Champeau's line, but here comes Horton now on the inside. He says, all right, you guys can play your games with the draft on the outside. I'm just going to pull up on the inside of yous. And he just about took the lead coming out of turn 2. But that momentum in the draft on the outside has definitely put him back into third as we've got another challenge for the lead. Here comes Chris Champeau. Looking to the inside of TJ Crampton. Not going to quite get it this time. And he can't even sneak up behind him on the straight. Close quarters battling going on. As now Matt Horton in second. We've got 10 laps to go. Will Horton take the lead this time? He's got TJ cleared. What can TJ do to battle back? He's got the momentum. He's pulling to the inside line for turn 3. Horton running as high as he dares. But he got loose. This has allowed Crampton to take the lead back. Oh, and we've got a spin. It's Corey Cook who spun. I'm not sure who got into him there. But this is a big help for Thomas Harmon behind. Go back and have a look at this. Brian Pizzakemi, that was on the inside of him. As we come off turn 4. Horton checked everything up on the outside there. Oh, and Chris Champeau also got the fence. And Corey kind of panicked there a little bit. Come down and he's hit Brian Pizzakemi. Pizzakemi going for a spin as well. Oh no, Pizzakemi got put into the pit lane. Wow, how did he not hit the inside wall there? That was crazy. But that is our 5th caution of this race. And we're not going to go to a commercial break this time. So it's TJ Crampton leading away from Matt Horton, Chris Champeau, Joe Salama. We've got David Stryker, Jonas Marquez, Travis Macia, Jaron Sanchez, Sam Niederhelm, and Brian Harris as your top 10. Got Corey Cook back there in 11th. With Frank Isaacson, James Watson, Thomas Harmon, and Jonathan Hernandez, Brian Pizzakemi wrapping up your top 16. Kyle Kraus now 11 laps down in 17th. And as mentioned before, Bennett, Pentacuff, and Williamson all OUT out of this race. So let's see what TJ can do here to hold on to the lead of this race. He's going to have to put in a lot of work here, because these guys behind him are definitely not going to let this be easy for him. But it also depends on lane choice too. Which lane is TJ going to go for the restart here? Everyone going to low lane, but the high lane is the preferred lane in 1 and 2. So we'll just have to wait and see what the decision is. It looks like he's aiming low here. And again, I just don't get the thought process behind it. I thought he would have chosen the high lane, as the lights are out on the pace car. So here we go for what will hopefully be the final restart in this race. We'll get the green flag with 6 laps to go. So this is definitely the time to put up or shut up. There's 6 laps left in this race. We still have 16 cars that could absolutely win this race. All right, here we go. But hopefully the final time in this race, the pace car gonna make that hard left turn into pit lane. 6 laps left of the Rest in Peace Auto Club Speedway 150. And here we go. Big jump from TJ Crampton. He has cleared second place. He's going to take the lead here. Chris Champeau in third. He's turned that into second. They're 4 wide at the back. But we're interested in keeping an eye on the front of the pack here. TJ Crampton ran low. Champeau is trying to take second away. They're still 4 wide in the back. Brian Harris just tapped himself off the fence there a little bit as they went back to double file racing. Champeau and Horton battling it out over second. Horton with the outside lane and the momentum. Looks like he's going to hold on to it for now. Champeau's going to slide up in front of Slama. And Slama is going to do whatever he can to try and get around Champeau here. Gets the draft. Dodges to the outside. Couldn't quite get his nose up there. Now here goes Chris Champeau once more to the inside. He's running about 3/4 track high. And side by side along the back straight they go. Only 4.5 laps left in this race. If this is the send-off that we get at the Auto Club Speedway this weekend, then this is definitely a really good send-off for it. Still side by side they go, battling it out over the second position. We've also got the battle for 4th, as here comes the 42 of David Stryker. And they're 3 wide now, all in the top half of the track. Slama just about run out of room there. Side by side, Stryker and Champeau go for the 3rd position. They're 3 wide in the back there, I can see. And Matt Horton back down to the inside line. He's clear. He's in second. Oh, and Stryker ran into the back of Chris Champeau. He's gone around. There's cars on the grass. And somehow he got through that without bringing out a caution. Oh, no, Frank. The unfortunate victim, Frank, just got absolutely pile-driven by Stryker, who I think got on the gas trying to get it going again. And we don't have a caution. We should have a caution. That should have been a caution. But Stryker, that car is absolutely G-O-N-E gone now. Same too for Frank Isaacson. His right front is buggered. But back up to the front of the pack we go. Only 2 laps left in this race. TJ Crampton still just leading the way from Matt Horton. Both of them run high. In fact, all of the top 5 run high. You see he's trying to just break the draft there on the back straight. We've got 6 cars in this front pack. And turn 3 and 4 is where they all diverge into different lanes. Both of our top 2 run low though, as Frank Isaacson just made it back to the pits, and sideways was Chris Champeau. He's still there in the battle, but he's lost out on 3rd. Joe Slama now slides his way into 3rd place. As it is white flag last lap, last chance to win it or wear it. This is where all the chips are on the table. It's still Crampton from Horton. Slama sitting there in 3rd, 3 wide in the back for about 9th, I think that was. But coming out of turns 3 and 4, as long as he doesn't get sideways here, it looks like the win is going to go to TJ Crampton. Second place is going to go Matt Horton. Third to Joe Slammer. That was an excellent race there by these drivers. They definitely put it all on the line. And it definitely showed for it, as the majority of the field has finished the race. We've just got to wait for Striker to finish up, as he's been just nursing that heavily damaged car around the track. Somehow he managed to keep it on the lead lap during it. So here goes TJ Crampton now to do his celebratory burnout. It's the first burnout for the season here for the Aussie Sim Commentator channel. And he's put it straight into victory lane. And he's doing the burnout in victory lane. All right, we're going to go to a commercial break now. When we come back, we'll have driver interviews. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. It is time now for our driver interviews, and we're kicking things off with our Hard Charger Award winner, sponsored by Autism Awareness. And today's Hard Charger is going to be our 4th place finisher, the 13 of Travis Massia. Travis, a bit of a crazy race out there, a little bit of everything, but definitely a very fun looking race from the outside perspective.
Yeah, it definitely was. Like the set was loose, which was nice, and there was a lot of passing opportunities, and Auto Club can be a lot of fun, and it's so big, so it can be chaotic at some times. But no, it was a fun race, and I think a lot of enjoyment out of it.
It was definitely a little bit of chaos. We kind of had a yellow flag there every 15 to 20 laps, which was a little bit unlike us. But as you said, the setup being a little bit looser definitely lended itself towards being that little bit more on the side of chaos.
Yeah, there was a lot of chaos going. I think after about 15 to 20 laps, you start getting real loose, and it just takes one throttle too hard, or just especially turn four exit was pretty loose, and a lot of people were struggling either hitting the wall or just getting loose and going in front of people. So there was a lot of chaos, but luckily I was able to avoid most of the chaos. I got involved a little bit, but it didn't really hurt me in the overall race. So
Now let's talk about the overall race here. As a hard charger, obviously you had to have made at least a couple of moves. So what was it like out there, just trying to set up and execute the passing maneuvers?
yeah, you know what? I was at the start of the race. I was really trying to save my tires, and then once we started getting the cautions, I realized that strategy was kind of not the right strategy. So I shifted strategies and just tried to make pits as quick as possible. And I gained a lot of spots actually just within the cautions of just having fast pits and not getting involved in those wrecks. But really, where I excelled, I think mostly was just turn one and two. I realized that the bottom for me was faster, and a lot of people run in the top at the end there. But the last caution, I think I started seven and I gained 3 spots in 4 laps just by running the bottom there and doing okay in turn three and four.
All right, now let's look forward towards next week. Once I bring up the right screen, we're going to be going to Las Vegas for 100 laps. What's the feeling like for you as we head into one of the more fun tracks on the schedule of Las Vegas?
Yeah, Viva Las Vegas is hit or miss with me. I'm not the greatest at that racetrack, but now that it's more of a draft package, I might be okay. But yeah, it's not my strongest one. Um, I don't know what it is about that because I like 1.5 mile races, but Las Vegas just something about it that I just don't have good luck. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, it turns out like this week and get a top five. I'd be happy with that.
All right, Travis, before we let you go here tonight, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, of course. I want to thank everybody who puts output together. So obviously, Jaron, the owner, and all the drivers' council, and you for broadcasting. And I want to be a big shout out to my wife Margaret and my son Max. So that's about it.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming out, Travis. And congratulations on taking out the first official Hard Charger award for the season. Look forward to seeing what you can do next week when we head to Las Vegas.
Thanks, Corey.
All right, guys, that was our fourth place finisher and our Hard Charger Award winner, the one, the only, the Travis Massier. Coming up next, we are going to have our third place finisher. And today's third place finisher was the 9 of Mr. Joe Slama. Joe, it's been a long, cold winter, but you definitely made your presence felt here in the fiery heat of the Auto Club Speedway.
Hey Corey, yeah, man, good to be back. Yeah, it was a fun race.
It definitely looked like a very fun race from the outset. The cars were a little bit loose, and the drama generally happened after about 15, 20 laps, so still plenty of time to get in a couple of passing maneuvers there.
Yeah, I was just hoping for the long run every time, and the one time we almost had one, I worked my way up to second, and I knew that was my strong point there, and but it never really happened. So we just kind of did those little 10, 12 lap runs, and it was tight racing. And I mean, even after that amount of time, the car was pretty loose, and you had to really manage your throttle control.
And what is it like trying to manage the throttle control, especially in turns 3 and 4? Because I did a few laps in practice, and I felt that was the bit where the car was the most sketchy.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't even full throttle till the straightaways for the most part, and not just because I was trying to save my tires, but you just couldn't, especially on the bottom in 3 and 4. It was pretty bad. If you tried to jump in it a little bit too soon, it just kind of whipped sideways without warning.
And now let's look forward towards next week, Joe. We're going to be going to Las Vegas. How do you feel your luck is as we head into Nevada?
I'm looking forward to Vegas. Last time we were there, I took the win, so hopefully I can repeat that. We'll see.
All right, Joe, before we let you go here tonight, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, everyone here at Output and you guys for doing the broadcast. Appreciate it.
All right, Joe, thank you very much for coming out. We look forward to seeing what you can do next week when you put all the chips on the table at Las Vegas.
Thanks, Corey.
All right, guys, that was our third place getter, Mr. Joe Slammer. It's always great to have Joe come in for a chat. Coming up next, we are going to have our second place winner, Sure. Words are hard. And coming in second place was the 89 of Matt Horton. Matt, you made 12 positions in that race, but you didn't get a qualifying effort in. Did you have an issue in qualifying, or was that a little bit of a plan just to avoid the early chaos?
Yeah, I didn't put down a lap. I just wanted to avoid early stupidity. Our pit parties in practice were a little on the crazy side, so I kind of wanted to sit in the back and try to avoid that. But we had a decently sized run at the start there, which was nice.
Yeah, it definitely was, and making positions here is no mean feat, especially with the quality of the field that we have got these days. The intensity that everyone drives at has been stepping up and up as the years have gone by.
Yeah, I mean it has. Everyone's seems like they're getting better and better, and I don't know. I guess I have a knack for this place. I've always run well here, and when everyone was running the top, I would just rip the bottom and get clean air on my nose, and it drove pretty well for having 4 minutes of damage.
Yeah, I definitely saw you, especially late in the race. You would hook that low line just perfectly, and you would get such a good run, especially out of turn two. What was it feeling like? Just hitting the low line while everyone else is hitting high, and just swooping around them.
Clean air is king. Anytime you can get clean air on your nose, you got to take it. And it seemed like everyone wanted to run the top, so I was going to run the bottom. You get tighter than all hell behind somebody in dirty air, so it's just trying to get clean air on my nose.
All right, Matt. Now let's look forward to next week. We're going to be going to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. What's the feeling like for you as we head out to the desert?
Hopefully the setup is the exact same as the last time we went there, because over the long run it got looser than all hell, and it was a lot of fun to drive. So it's going to be a tire saver for sure, but I'm looking forward to it.
All right, Matt. Before we let you go here tonight, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Just the people that make this league possible. I've been part of this league now, I think, for almost 3 years, and it's a lot of fun to race every Tuesday. Yourself, Corey, for putting on these broadcasts every week, and all the guys that come out each and every week.
All right, Matt. Thank you very much for coming out here tonight. Congratulations on coming home second, and we look forward to see how you play your chips next week when we go to Las Vegas.
Thank you.
All right, guys. That was our second place getter here tonight. The 89 of Matt Horton. I almost called him the 33 because I'm so used to him being in the 33. Coming up next, we have our race winner. And today's race winner is, of course, the 72 of Mr. TJ Crampton. TJ coming home with a big win here at Auto Club. How do you feel?
I don't know if words can describe it. I was super pumped. I mean, when I crossed the line, I was screaming. I think I woke up everyone in my house. So apologize to them, but um, it's big. I don't get to race here that often on the service because the iRacing doesn't usually have it on officials, or no one really goes here. And so this is one of my favorite tracks. And obviously, living 9 miles away from the track, it always means big whenever I can get the job done here and race this track. And gonna be sad when hopefully they don't, but probably will change into a short track.
No, it was definitely not the easiest of races for you here tonight. You were embroiled in battles almost constantly throughout the race. What was that like trying to battle for position with the car being as loose it was?
It was really fun. Being side by side and three wide at some points, and just it's all about throttle control. And I feel like just my personal opinion, but over over the course of some of the medium runs, and people would start to get loose in the bottom, and I try to train myself better to get at throttle control. And I felt like today I was able to get a nice good run off of four while everyone else was slipping and sliding. But being up front was a lot of fun. And these guys, they race hard, but they race clean, and it's always fun racing anyone on the track.
All right, now let's look forward towards next week, TJ. We're going to be going to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. How do you feel your chances are as we head into Las Vegas?
Uh, Pretty good. Las Vegas is a very bumpy racetrack and very loose, kind of like this. Hopefully, as Horton said, and the setup is the same because last season the setup was really loose and it was a lot of fun, and you really had to be wary about spinning out. So hopefully it's like that again. If it's not, going to be interesting to see what it brings. And Vegas is a nice track.
All right, TJ, thank you very much for coming out. But before we let you go here tonight, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
You, the broadcast, Jaron for putting on the league, and Speedway Memes Media, Team Watson Racing Setups, and Extreme Mufflers.
All right, TJ. Again, thank you for coming out. Congratulations on taking home the win. And we look forward to see how you play your cards next week when we go to Las Vegas.
Thank you.
All right, guys. That was our winner, the 72 of TJ Crampton. But that is going to wrap things up here for us tonight. Thank you all for coming out and watching. A lot of support here on the Twitch channel, and hopefully a bit of support on the YouTube as well for our first race back for the new year. And we look forward to seeing you guys all again next week when we go to Las Vegas. So until then, I've been your commentator, the Aussie Sim commentator. We'll see you guys in Vegas.